Welcome back to my channel with me, Lia Nurhayati. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Again, please allow me to present in English. And I am currently training myself to improve my speaking skills. And this presentation is part of that personal effort. I hope it will also enrich our discussion today. So, with your permission, I will continue this presentation in English. Thank you. Today, I would like to share how authentic assessment can strengthen thematic learning in elementary schools and also reflect on my own experience implementing it in the classroom. At ABC in elementary school, thematic learning has been implemented to help students understand concepts across subjects in a more integrated way. However, a challenge arises: how do we assess a learning process that is this complex? Traditional tests often fail to capture what actually happened during learning. Many students are active and creative during hand-on activities, but this is not reflected in their test scores. This gap shows that we need an assessment approach that is more aligned with the nature of thematic learning. As a teacher, I often see a mismatch between how students perform during classroom activities and how they perform on written tests. Students who understand concepts well during practice sometimes struggle to express them in test form. This made me realize that our assessments may not fully represent students' real abilities. That is why authentic assessment becomes an important alternative because it captures what students can actually do. Thematic learning integrates multiple subjects into a unified experience. Therefore, assessment must also capture learning in a holistic way. In session 20, we learned that assessment in elementary school covers attitudes, knowledge, and skills. Authentic assessment enables us to observe all three domains at once. As Wiggins explains, authentic assessment allows students to demonstrate their understanding in real-world context, not in artificial test situations. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in authentic assessment, these three domains become visible. For attitudes, we observe collaboration, curiosity, and responsibility. And for knowledge, we look at how students apply concepts, not just memorize them. And for skills, we see how they conduct experiments, create products, and present their work. This aligns well with thematic learning, which emphasizes wellness and integration. When authentic assessment is used, the quality of learning increases in several ways. Students become more engaged because their learning process is valued. Teachers get a much clearer picture of students' development, how they think, communicate, and solve problems. Feedback becomes more meaningful because it is based on direct observation, not just test results. Ladies and gentlemen, research also supports this approach. Learning Hammond notes that performance-based assessments promote deeper learning. Muller agrees that authentic assessment fits well with learning that emphasizes knowledge construction. Studies in elementary schools saw that hand-on projects and performance tests improved students' retention and understanding. In my own classroom, I conducted an experiment-based learning activity on the water cycle with fifth grade students. The lesson combined experimentation, guided inquiry, and local wisdom related to water conservation. Students did more than just learn the concept, they connected into environmental issues around them. This kind of activity is ideal for authentic assessment because students' thinking and skills become visible. I use several authentic assessment tools during this lesson. For skills, I use a performance rubric to evaluate accuracy and procedures. For attitudes, I observed how students collaborate and handle the equipment responsibility. And for knowledge, I assessed their experiment reports and group presentations. I also used the SIOTT strategy, observe, ask, and write, which helps capture students' individual reflection. Together, these tools provide a more complete picture of student learning. The results were quite encouraging. Students were more confident because they were assessed based on their real efforts, not just a final answer. I could clearly see different roles students play in their groups. Some excellent in hand-on tasks, but needed support in communication. This helped me plan better follow-up instruction. Authentic assessment, therefore, not only provides scores but also guides teaching. So, from both theory and practice, it is clear that authentic assessment aligns very well with thematic learning. It allows students to be seen as full learners and it helps teachers understand their learning journey more deeply. Authentic assessment is not just a measurement tool, it is part of the learning process itself. With this approach, thematic learning becomes more meaningful and more relevant to student real lives. Okay, to close the presentation, here are the key references that inform the concept and examples I discussed. This source helps shape both the theoretical perspective and the classroom application that I shared today. And before I end this presentation, I would like to express my gratitude for your attention and understanding. I'm still in the process of developing my English speaking skills, and I apologize if some part of my delivery were not perfect. I truly appreciate your passion and I hope the ideas I share was still clear and meaningful. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.